Yeah. What up? As that come and hit the like button, baby. We about to go live on the Uncensored Truth podcast. Let's go. Yes. We in the building, family. Friday night, 8 p.m. The Uncensored Truth podcast. Let's go. This your brother old guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored. Now you're tuned in to the hottest podcast right now on YouTube, the Uncensored Truth podcast with my co-host across the way.
What it do? It's your brother saying, man, viral hip hop news.
Yeah,
indeed, we're in the building where we love it the most. The Uncensored Truth podcast live exclusively on Hip Hop News Uncensored. Oh God, what's good, my brother?
What's popping to everybody out there as you come into the building? We always need you to do two things, just two quick things. Hit that like button, go ahead and tap it, and make sure that you go ahead and share this video. Let the people know that the Uncensored Truth, the most underrated podcast, is on right now. The most feared podcast too. Y'all scared to come over here and sit in the hot seat.
Oh, you talking about some people, but we ain't even gonna give them acknowledgement right now. They know who they are. The people that are afraid to sit on the hot seat of the Uncensored Truth podcast. But we talking to the people right now, the people in the chat room, the people in the streets. We do appreciate you. Make sure you drop your area codes right now so we can show you some love before we get the podcast started. But oh God, man, how you doing today, man? How was your day? How was your week? You excited about tonight, man? What's good with you?
Oh man, definitely excited to be in the building once again, to be out here for the people. I see everybody coming into the building. My man John Hamilton,
I do.
Like Sandman said, as you come in, drop those area codes, man. We're going to talk a little bit tonight about some of the things that's been going on, around the world and all that. So let's get it.
Let's get it, man. What we got going on? 201-757-410909 in the building. 613-803. What it do? Charles Baylor, my bad. What it up? 336 indeed and 3562. Enjoying ourselves, man. What we got on the ticket today? What we talking about?
Oh man, we're gonna talk about Kodak Black on Hot 97. It's been a lot of flares, going up over that. Also, we're gonna talk a little bit about the Nicki Minaj, her boyfriend. Not to get too chatty with that, but some details did emerge today about what happened with that whole situation. So we'll touch on that, a little briefly, and just kind of this vibe to see what the people want to talk about tonight and just go from there, man.
Dope.
Definitely. Yeah.
We love to give you the news, the hottest news of the week, the hottest news of the day here exclusively on the Uncensored Truth podcast on Hip Hop News Uncensored live every week on Fridays at 8 p.m. Very excited to do the show. We, like you said, man, we feel like we're one of the most underrated podcasts out there.
Yes.
Giving the news like no other, giving perspective like no other.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate it. We humble about it, but we're going to do the damn thing, man. So
yes, sir.
Let's rock, man.
Yes, sir. I want to say the 757. I see you 909-201-803-631-336-562. 305-719. Excuse me. I see you in the building. Yeah. I see y'all in here lighting it up today, man. Let's get it. Somebody already going at Ebro's neck. I see you, Hennessy and hip hop. I'll show it.
I don't know if we're going to do the phone lines this week. This would have been a great week to do it, but we got a lot to say about this Ebro situation. We may be a little bit of a disagreement when it comes to certain things, but all in all, man, that's going to be a real hot conversation. And dare I say, is this the end of Hot 97? And say Hot 97 done. I'm going to raise the question tonight. Are they done?
I wouldn't say that.
I might say they've done.
We'll talk about it, though.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
Let's get into it.
Indeed.
So anyway, everybody, is coming in. Please hit the like button and make sure you share this video. You're tuning into the Uncensored Truth podcast, the most dangerous, underrated podcast right now on YouTube. Let's get into it, Sam, man.
Let's do it.
Let's jump right into, this conversation. Now, if everybody does not know, Kodak Black is due to pretty much go to trial to try to fight this case about him. The girl's pretty much saying that Kodak Black, took it, went in there, raped her pretty much, took the vagina without asking, according to the evidence, the docs, they're saying that there is, his evidence is there. So he's trying to work something out. So he sits on Hot 97, and if you watch the interview, very uncomfortable. Like you said, almost like a police interrogation in the first 2 minutes. But they get through some of the interview, maybe about 20 minutes. And then Ebro butts in, asks him about the case, real, funny. And Kodak Black, they have word. Pretty much gets up, walks out. Everybody's talking about it now. You look at the ratio. You can always look at the videos. You see that the down like 12,000, up like 3,000. So you had a lot of words to say about Ebro, man. Say, man, give it to him. Let's give it to him.
This is why I feel like Ebro's a fuck boy. He is for this one. Now, I want to like Ebro. I respect his journalism. I respect what he's brought to Hot 97, Summer Jam. He definitely is respected in hip hop. But this is why he's a fuckboy in 2018. That was set up. That whole thing was manipulated. Now, first off, let me start by saying the allegations against Kodak Black were very serious. We don't condone any of the allegations that are against him right now.
Right.
If he is found guilty, and there's a lot of substantial evidence out there that may find him guilty, then he deserves what he deserves, because no one, no woman, no child, no one deserves to be put in that position. We say that emphatically here. That being said, it was right off the jump where Ebro just had this energy about him. The energy was off from the jump. And when you seen Kodak Black today on the Breakfast Club, the first thing I wanted to pay attention to was energy, because maybe in my commentary on Ebro the last couple of days may have been a little harsh. Maybe this is just Kodak Black's natural reaction, but I seen him on various interviews while promoting the album, and it just seemed like this interview in particular, he was very defensive and standoffish because of the energy that Ebro brought. He came out saying, I really didn't want you on here necessarily, but it's cool to have you on here. You know, you got a fucked up past, and you were smoking near your kid. He just gave the energy was just off. And although Peter Rosenberg and Lower Styles tried to bring it back in the interview, did kind of, you seen Kodak Black warming up throughout the interview. Then Ebro brought it immediately back to the negativity, which brought Kodak Black to go, you know what, I'm out of here. And it just seemed like he was trying to create a moment. And then immediately he jumped on the social media to see what everybody was saying. I thought it was some fuckboy shit. That's corny.
I mean, so do you think he was wrong for asking the question? Did it needed to be addressed, the question? Because, you know, he wanted to know. Everybody wants to know that. Everybody knows that when you go sit up in these interviews, the good ones at least, that they're going to ask you all the tough stuff. The Breakfast Club does. And I see somebody in the comments says, Mercedes Michelle says, Ebro want to be Charlemagne so bad. The tough questions are going to be asked. Was he out of bounds for asking a question?
He wasn't out of bounds for asking the question. You can ask whatever you want on your platform. You have the right to do so. Now, I know that there's discussion between the publicist and the radio host and things like that on what's good and what's not. I'm sure they had that conversation. That being said, he has the right to ask what he wants. But what I'm saying is, when you talk about and think about the energy that was brought throughout that entire interview, for that to be brought on then, and then for Kodak Black to say that he didn't want to talk about it anymore. Then they asked him the astronaut question where he brushed off and they laughed it off and move on to the next. And then Ebro immediately antagonized it again. I ask you, if somebody would have came at you the way Ebro came at Kodak Black in that situation, how are you coming off? I know you, but tell the people how you coming off.
Well, you got to be seasoned in that. You know, you got to know how. This is why I always say, you know, in my commentary, you got to know how to deal with those type of situations. You do interviews probably all the time. Now, probably it's some underlying issues where you probably just don't fuck with Ebro like that. They don't like him. And a lot of people don't, but, you know, I'm not going to say that I 100% agree with the way that Ebro did it, but you got to put it out there.
Let me tell you.
You got to put it out there. It's evidence.
It's evidence, but let me tell you why that wasn't the whole premise of the thing. And let me tell you why this was a publicity stunt on Ebro's behalf. And I'm going to get more cynical as the story goes on. And I want to like Ebro, but I'm starting to see the colors of what's going on. You got a failing radio station on the internet right now that's failing. It's prehistoric. It's behind the times. They need to create some news. You get me ahead of myself, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. Ebro, if he really cared about this situation, if he was really against the allegations brought on against Kodak Black and everything that Kodak Black represents, we both know good and goddamn well he could have said, nah, he can't come up here. I don't care if he's doing a promotion for the album or not. I don't want him up here. Ebro saw this as a situation where he can go, okay, we can make a moment that we really don't have on here, because I reject and fight every new artist that ever comes in here, because I don't want anything fresh in my radio station. Yeah, I may have your Fat Boy SSEs and people nowadays, but when it comes to evolution and when it comes to just the growth in 2018, it just seems like there's a fight and a confliction within Hot 97. And I tell you, it starts with Ebro.
Why are people more mad at Ebro asking him the question, and more people not mad at the actual offense that's alleged? Now, we're just going to say it's alleged. You know what I mean? They are saying that there is some DNA evidence, but again, it still has to go through the judicial process. Why are people just pointing that out? Oh, he asked him this fuck question. How come they ain't talking about the actual what happened?
You trying to play
down there? Right now? No, I'm just saying. How come people ain't? I'm just these are the. I'm going down the line with people I see in my comment section. In the comment consensus. That's all. Since you know you anti Ebro on Hot 97 right now. He said they're dead in the water.
So ask me that one more time. What do you say that again?
I'm saying that why are people more focused in on, you know, Ebro asking him a question, or not more focused on the fact that Kodak Black allegedly did this? How come people are not focused on that? They're just pointing to the fact that, oh, you know, Ebro asked him this about this, but this dude allegedly actually did this. He's about to go to trial for actually doing this.
But you're painting Ebro out to be a victim, and he's not. He antagonized. It was more so a statement than it even was a real journalistic question. If Kodak Black was sitting right here, and we started off the program saying we're the most underrated podcast, we'll ask the hot questions. People are afraid to come on here, but there's still a respect level involved. We're going to talk about the album. We're going to talk about its growth. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about that. You won't get an energy or a vibe coming onto this platform like there was an underlying or there was something more that we wanted to gain out of that situation. Like we were trying to create a moment. That's not what we're trying to do. Now, if you wanted to be on some fuck shit and walk out, by all means, there's the door. Don't let it hit you. But we ain't in here trying to create moments. I felt in that situation, Ebro was trying to create a moment. And it worked. Yeah. But did it work for his benefit, or did it work for his defeat? Because I feel like it worked for his defeat. It makes them look even worse.
They got this ongoing war, the Breakfast Club, Hot 97. As you seen when you sat down, you pointed this out, that the two interviews were totally different. You know what I mean? And they ain't even mentioned Hot 97. I know you picked that up. It was like the other interview or whatever. And they had their little war going on. So it is what it is. But I get it. At first I didn't, get it with the outrage on Ebro, but I kind of get it why people are going in. But I don't think that, I won't say that they're done. I think that they do great work. I don't think that they're the best at what they do. I'm talking about Hot 97, that little radio crew in the morning. You know what I mean? I don't think that they're done at all. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about Hot 97 real quick. Because I would be the first to say that they're behind the times. They're prehistoric. We had this conversation when we talked a couple months ago about Peter Rosenberg and Joe Budden and their little feud at one point. And this has been brought up throughout the month, especially throughout this podcast, the life throughout this podcast. So that being said, do you think, or do you agree with my sentiment that Hot 97 is behind the time? They're failing. The
station in general, or just the YouTube? Clarify what you mean. Like the whole, because they still got the radio that's popping, kind of, you know what I mean? But more so now it's like the YouTube interview thing. The Breakfast Club got that popping. So that's what you're talking about more so.
I'll relegate it to 2018, the times. Let's put it, are they behind the times? And what I mean by the times is the social media wave, the way to communicate with the consumer, because their relationship with the consumer seems very off. It's 50-50, sometimes 60-40 at best, being negative. Why is that? They don't communicate properly to the new consumer in 2018, where you see a Breakfast Club, and we both gave the Breakfast Club credit in bringing in different varieties of interviews and bringing different conversations, but still doing it in a way where they resonate to different genres and different places of the world, where Hot 97 is vastly falling behind. And now you see the podcast wave, where you see your Joe Buttons of the world and your Uncensored Truth podcast of the world and the other podcasts that are popping, where people are going for news and perspective, and now you're getting exclusive interviews and things like that, putting Hot 97 further and further behind. Do you think that they sit there and go, okay, there's a bitterness, and do you think because of that they won't be here? I kind of think that they may be falling off soon. 1.6 billion people going to YouTube. Ain't nobody turning on the radio and listening to Hot 97 the way they're listening on YouTube right now, or however on a podcast or wherever.
Well, I think it's kind of, see, when the Breakfast Club, when they came on the scene, I mean, the chemistry that they had, it just kind of blew everybody else away, and it became the gold standard where people wanted to emulate and kind of copy. You know what I mean? So it was like they definitely fell behind. And I mean, people seem to agree with you more so in the comment section. They're saying, look, man, they're prehistoric. They didn't replace, Ebro. I could kind of, I don't know if they got to replace them. Maybe they need to change some things up, but they are good at what they do. Yeah. But they can't fuck with the Breakfast Club at this point. They got a chemistry right there that can't really be matched, man. And they give great interviews. Excuse me, I'm sorry to cut you off. And they, like today they brought Mark Lamont Hill on. They bring real topics to hip hop, world topics. So I got to salute them for that. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
What do you? I forgot what I was gonna say. My bad. But what do you think about when it comes to Hot 97 in regards to them? Okay, so let me ask you a question. Breakfast Club, 8 years. They've been up for 8 years. Right. So Hot 97 and the Breakfast Club been in competition now for 8 years. And for 8 years, it's been a clear fucking sweep. How long are you going to get your ass whipped before you go, okay, we got to change shit up so that we no longer are losing? Because every loss is a lesson, but 8 straight, okay, now it's time to, okay, if we keep doing the same thing over and over again, this has to be insanity. And it doesn't seem like they're willing to change anytime soon. And it's going to be year 9 where they get their ass whipped again. Right. That ain't us. Right. So what do you say to that?
That's a good point. But again, man, you talk about, that's when the Breakfast Club came on. But before that, you got to remember, man, Hot 97, it was number one for a long time.
How long ago?
Talking about, I mean, you
How
know,
long
it was a long time ago.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, with the YouTube age and everything, it kind of changed up. I mean, at one point, there was a lot of different platforms, and some platforms grew into some real big, good businesses. Some kind of fell by the wayside and became just internet bloggers. You know what I mean? So we're trying to go the way of actually building a business, a real business behind this thing. But yeah, man, I think, you know, there's still major players in the game. They could be falling behind. I think the radio right now, and the fact that they can still bring people on the platform to get the interviews because they're such a big station, they built their name, they'll be able to compete. But again, you got people on the internet, YouTube and stuff that are, you know, coming up and doing their thing, but they still got that radio behind them. People still have to go to the radio, do interviews on the radio now, and Hot 97 is still one of the big meccas in New York. So they'll be all right, man.
How long do you give them? Because I disagree with you.
You talking about just those three? Laura, the dude Rosenberg, and Ebro?
Because we know Ebro has stake and he has say in what goes on in there. But when does it come to a point where they go, all right, man, enough's enough. We're tired of getting our ass. What this has to change. This will change. How long do you give them? Because I have a conspiracy theory in my head running around right now. Or even why he even did that. So how long do you give them?
Do you think? I want you to get to that conspiracy theory. You know, somebody said 2 years. It could come to an end pretty fast, man. If they don't, it's like, you know, if you don't change things up, as things that are spiraling down, if you don't change things up, it'll eventually hit a crash. So you got to, you know, change the trajectory. So they definitely got to change some things up. But hey, man, we run our ship over here. They run their ship. So, you know, I'll say with the less than 3 years, man, if they don't pick it up, you're going to have a lot of people. You know, you talk about people got 2 million subscribers. You guys are reaching million. Guys are running with platforms now that's just sitting in their homes. You know, they're doing things. So yeah, it could really be, and they're competing. You can't say that some of these platforms that's 1 or 2 people are now starting to compete with your companies that have been around for 30, 40 years in the hip hop. It's crazy.
Well, see, the thing that they're naive to and the things that they're sleeping on is the fact that, oh, they just see the numbers and they see YouTube. Oh, and this is just the internet. It's the internet. And this is where they fall behind on the times. And this is where it's going to bite them on the ass. And a lot of the podcasts and people on the quote unquote YouTube and internet are going to hurt them. This is why, because you got corporate structures getting built up under these revenues getting built by YouTube. You have people that are really looking at blueprints on what's making things successful. And they say, okay, you know what? This is how we're going to do it. You got to have a corporate infrastructure to be this. You got to do this A, B, C, D throughout your blueprint to be a competitive force in this game right here. Okay, we're going to do this. And yeah, you got millions and millions of people in the hip hop media pool on YouTube today. But there's a few, maybe a handful that got the infrastructure correct, and they're going to be major players in the next few years. And if Hot 97 doesn't get themselves together, they will be extinct like a dinosaur.
But let's talk about this, because somebody put something about the source in there, and you see, like, you got I don't want to really put their names out. I respect all these platforms, but I got to make a point. You got like people like the Source, you got XXL, even some of your other platforms. They have failed to really, you know, grasp the YouTube wave and the social media wave, the Twitter. Yeah. All they do is they're stuck with that whole that radio model or the internet model. They haven't really jumped over, because you'll see some big companies like maybe even the Shade Room. They have nothing going on YouTube. You know what I mean? But the ones that are successful have it all. Look at Complex. We got to even throw Vlad in there. He got the YouTube, he got the website, and, you know, other business ventures, you know, out there. So yeah, Hot 97 could definitely, you know, go the way of the Source. Like the magazine thing is pretty much dead at this point. Nobody's really buying magazines no more, and all these other companies. They definitely can go by, you know, by that way. It could be other companies, you know, that actually, you know, replace them. I can name a lot of companies that 10 years ago that wasn't even in the conversation is now in your top 5 of your hip hop platforms now. We can do that all day.
And I give you Toys R Us and Best Buy as examples outside of the realm of hip hop as examples. When you got an Amazon that came in and they changed the game in the market, and when you got places like Toys R Us and I keep wanting to say BET and Best Buy, where you would never think these places will be threatened to go out of business, and you starting to see them go out of business because people are starting to evolve with the time. When Amazon seen that people love to buy shit on their phone and get it delivered to their house, okay, we're gonna change the game and we'll get it to you in less than a day or day. Okay, Bob. Okay, we'll give you food. We'll do this. We'll do that. Change the game. We'll give you toys. This and that. A third. Same thing applies here. When you got a market where people are feeding on the internet, people are watching this on their phone, they're going to YouTube. Some people are going on YouTube before they even turn on their radio, or some people are hooking their phone up to, or have syncing their phone to their car, and that's what's controlling what they're listening to. they have to evolve with the time. My conspiracy theory was this. Somebody, the higher ups at Hot 97 is saying, listen, we're getting our asses whipped. This is getting too crazy. This is a real threat of having to change, or something's going to have to give. We need to create some kind of controversy. We need to bring somebody young on. And Ebro being stuck behind the times, so you know what? Nah, I got this myself. I'm going to do it myself. And like I said, he tried to create some kind of moment. And what did you say the like to dislike ratio was on that YouTube video? Because you can't do that on the radio. People can't say, nah, this radio show was whack here. I'm whack. Boy, this was dope. But they can do that on YouTube. And they're looking at them numbers. And those numbers are staggering. I've never seen numbers like that before, especially on a radio broadcast like that. They usually got at least their fans showing them love. That shit.
You mean Hot 97?
Yeah. The interview with Kodak.
Oh, yeah. That dislike ratio.
It's ridiculous. I don't even want to speculate, but I know it's at least half to more than 50%.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Right.
But that being said, man, they really got to evolve with the times. I don't know if they will. And if they don't, these other people that are really starting to build and do it the right way are going to come right behind them like an Amazon and put them right out of business. Yeah,
definitely, my man. But anyone ever think Walmart will be sweating this future via Amazon?
Come on, man.
That's a good question. Now, I've been seeing that. You know, every time I see Amazon is taking over, because I'm not even hiring people starting at 17, 18. It was never like that before. You know what I mean? And they're coming in, and what they're doing is they're giving you anything that you need. Now people are going to Amazon. Best Buy, I think, is a company that may not be around. I don't know how that, how it's going to be, because everything now, they even do the price match. You know that, going to Best Buy a lot. They got a price match with Amazon now. So,
Sears is out of business, bro.
Yes, I seen that today.
Come on,
it's gone. So it's just not all of them, I don't think, but the one in this area.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's just like, man, if you don't evolve with the times, and you see it all the time, we see it all the time. You could be up today going tomorrow, period. And, so that kind of is what it is. But again, I don't really have, no hate for Ebro or nothing like that, but we just keeping it above.
And neither do I. And that's real. Like I said, I really agree with a lot the man says. I respect him. When you think about Summer Jam, when you think about Hot 97 in his heyday, he's very influential in that. Him, Flex, a lot of them. But you got to evolve with the times. They don't seem to do so. They seem to be rejecting it, almost showing that real old man bitterness kind of feeling. And it's gonna hurt them. And they won't be around in a couple of years if they continue to do so. You heard it here first.
Yep, but you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sam, man, going in on the Uncensored Truth podcast today. Everybody listening, do me a favor, hit the like button and make sure that y'all share this video. Peace to everybody. Go ahead and drop your area codes, in the chat room right quick, and we'll go ahead and shout those out, momentarily, man. So yeah, man, I'm gonna talk about this one though, as people are doing that. This Nicki Minaj, case. We ain't want to be too chatty patty, on this one or whatever. But I just wanted to we find it kind of ironic with Nicki Minaj, and it's really sad or whatever. It does look like she's living her best life now. You know what I mean? She's putting the videos up, grinding and all that, and that's one thing. But her boyfriend, it was a picture that went up with this new guy that she's messing with. You know what I'm saying? And people started connecting the dots. You know what I mean? And see that he had a pretty, extensive criminal history. I just want to go through some of the what was on the document real quick. It says, according to court records, Kenneth Petty, 1994 rape case obtained. This is by the blast. The 16-year-old victim explained to the cops that it was a terrifying situation in which she was allegedly abducted and violently raped by Petty. The victim told police that on September 16, 1994, in Queens, New York, she was walking down the street when Petty came up behind her and placed his hard circular object against her back and made a clicking sound. The victim believed that Petty had a handgun against her body, and he instructed her to keep walking. The two walked to an address down the street, and she claims Petty forced her upstairs into his bedroom by pushing her from behind with what she believed was a handgun, right? Mm-hmm. He says, once inside Petty's room, the victim claimed he laid his weight on top of her, pinched her side, and squeezed her neck, causing her to sustain bruises and pain. She then claimed Petty forced his penis into her vagina. She also says he tried to escape from Petty, but he brandished a knife, held it against her stomach, telling her she cannot leave. And that's pretty much it. This was he was, charged with 5 crimes: rape in the first degree, sexual abuse in the first degree, unlawful imprisonment in second degree, assault in the second degree, and criminal possession of a weapon in a fourth degree. He later pled down and was convicted of rape in the first degree and served 4 years in prison. And Petty, who was Nicki Minaj's new boyfriend, is also a registered sex offender, which he must obviously, wherever he moves, he has to give his location where people can go and type it in. I don't know if you ever knew that when you live in a location, you can actually go on the computer and see who are registered sex offenders in your area. So wherever he lives at, people can find that. Now, what make this, it might not be, people have bad past and they do, they get better. And we don't know if this is 100% true. The girl could have been lying for all we know. But what makes it crazy is like, damn, her brother, that whole situation. And people just connecting the dots like, what is going on here? Is this woman really desperate like this? Or she just, finding love? You know what I mean? So I'm saying, what do you think about these, this just coming up our way to blast all these, alleged details of how he took it.
This is the tough part of what we do for me, honestly, because we committed ourselves to doing news and we feel like we do it better than anybody and we're underrated. And that being said, but we got to do shit like this.
Right.
And I go and this really, to me, I'm like, first off, who she gets with, I don't care. What he went to jail for is like really none of my business. But we got to hear it. We're in a day and age in 2018 where we got to hear stuff like this. So, okay, we're going to talk about it. The charge is disgusting. Whether it be in 94, 2004, 84, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. People are allowed to change. People are allowed to grow. And people are allowed a second chance. But people are also allowed to have the opinion to just go, yo, that's fucked up. When you compare it and when you look at it, when she gave support toward her brother, and we've seen the disgusting allegations for that. And then she was threatening to sue people for just saying the truth, honestly. But she was threatening to sue people for going and kind of comparing the two, slandering her name. Mm-hmm. It just goes, you got to judge her character. And it just goes, okay, do you choose to listen to her or don't you? Is it that serious that you're going to go, okay, I'm really not going to mess with her character? Because obviously her character now has to be in question if you're a devout listener and lover of Nicki Minaj. But you have morals when it comes to child pedophilia and things like that. So that's really all I got to say about Nicki Minaj in that situation. I'm not going to get involved with her wanting to love and all that shit because I don't care. I ain't hitting it. So it's none of my business.
Yeah, and it's, it's real disturbing, actually, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what if it was like your sister? I know you don't have, but I have a sister, and I found out she was with like a dude like that. I'm like, yo, you can't really mess with that dude. Right. Like, don't mess with that dude. Like, he's prone to do that again. You know what I mean? Did he get help for this? You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. Like, this ain't something like everyday normal. Like, you got to think about it, man. Like, the ratio of men and women out here, it's like, it's plenty of women. But somebody, obviously, we know it's a psychological problem. Somebody to actually go and force it against somebody, put a gun against them. These are the details, alleged details, that came out. But he did plead out. He pled out. So that's letting most people know that, look, man, I did it. When you say you pled out, if not, you wouldn't have pled out. You'd be like, no, I didn't touch. I didn't do this. So, it's crazy. Like you said, character. She has, a real, it seems like, bad choice of men that she picks. You know what I mean? A real bad choice.
Saying Meek Mill's a bad guy? I'm
not saying Meek Mill's a bad guy, but I mean, obviously that didn't last. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, man. But I thought that, we definitely wanted to share. Because when the story first came out, I was like, okay, he had a sex. Maybe it was something, he touched somebody or something crazy. They went to the police. But nah, this dude actually, they saying put a gun to him, held her down. When she tried to get up, he was like, no. So that's crazy. Nicki Minaj is with him. You're crazier. That's all I can say about that. I'm just keeping it up.
Yeah, man. And they had his whole rap sheet on TMZ stuff we ain't gonna put on this podcast stuff. That's really none of our business what he's been in and out of jail for. But
is there more stuff like that? Or that's the only one? Okay.
I think not to my knowledge, I didn't see anything like that. A lot of just other stuff. I mean,
just regular street stuff, I guess.
Regular shit.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, people do change, but I don't know. That's crazy. But yeah, man, we wanted to share that news with y'all, man. So yeah, man, you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam, man. We going in tonight on this Friday night, every Friday night at 8 p.m. on this channel right here, Hip Hop News Uncensored. Everybody in the building, go ahead and hit the like button. Also, leave your area code so we can shout out your city where you at. That'll be real dope.
Indeed, man. We're enjoying ourselves right now on the Uncensored Truth podcast exclusively on Hip Hop News Uncensored at 8 p.m. Or what time we get started tonight? Probably a little earlier. 7:40 or so.
Yeah.
Talked about Ebro situation with Kodak Black. Y'all can let us know what y'all thinking about that right now in the comment section so we can answer some of y'all questions as we go through the podcast. We love to engage with y'all. I haven't really been in this joint. I want to see what we're talking about in here. But yeah, man, I thought High 97 did themselves a real disservice in that whole situation. And didn't like how that whole thing went down, especially when you see a dude, and we were talking about this, he really seems like he's guarded with his feelings. And we picked that vibe up early. We seen that quick. And for us to see that, and we would be able to adjust to that situation and kind of understand that he was going to answer certain questions this way, we'd be able to move like a boxer. We'd be able to maneuver and, you know what I mean, delegate the fight and make sure that we finished it out, make sure we took care of business and conducted a great interview. Ebro is no stranger to that. He knows how to conduct an interview. He knows how to roll with the punches, so to speak. It was really unprofessional on his behalf to go at this dude.
What about the sexual assault victims though out there? That one, you know what I mean? Because I think, you know, just to cover all angles of this, you know, a lot of the people, you know, were saying that, like, man, like, what about the victims out there of sexual assault? Because that was supposed to be Ebro's whole premise. Like, we take sexual assault very seriously over here. What about them? So you asking? Okay, let me answer that with a question real quick. Are you saying that he's an advocate for those, the voice of those voices? That's what he made it seem like. Then why even have him on the show? To ask him about it, I guess, to see, you know. I mean, I get it. I mean, he can't talk about it. I know he can't talk about it. Right. You're right. So why even have him on the show? It's just how the media is. It's fucked up. It's fucked up how he did it, definitely. But, you know, he did it. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about it, created a headline. I just hope it's not true. You know, what happened? A lot of people saying that girl's lying about that situation. You know, we've seen people that have lied on celebrities. So we just don't know. Obviously, you see, like you said, it's a situation where he's pretty much pissed about. You can see it. Kodak, he really didn't want to talk about it. And just the look, it's something you can't really, but the look on people's face, like you saw the look on the characters of Hot 97, you seen the look on their face, and it was just like you could know that they had like an ulterior motive. That's why it's kind of hard for me. You know what I mean? Then you go and did the flip script, you go see a Breakfast Club, or you go see that interview in Florida, and it's a whole different vibe. And Charlamagne asked the question, do you think it was fair for them to ask you that? Why don't you think it was fair to ask you that? Because he would have asked. He might not have asked because of what he saw, but it's like, okay, certain things have to be asked, but you got to ask them in a way, one, that's respectable. And if you honestly want an answer out of the situation, you can't ask in a way that if he answers it, it's incriminating himself. Ebro, you know better than that. Or are you something different? Like a lot of people out here speculating. Are you the police? Oh, should we say it? Is Ebro the feds? Oh God, is Ebro work for the NYPD? Nah, I don't think so. You saying that because you like him? Nah, I don't think so. There probably are some bloggers who do. You know, but it's just like now, I don't know if you've seen it with some rappers in Houston, you know, who they pretty much went at us on the school or something. They did a shot a video. But the crazy part about it was like all these cats was like they either had felonies, you know, they had warrants and stuff like that. So they put the video went viral. Then the cops started looking at the video and picking cats off, and they arrested like 15 of them. So we're in a day and age now where people, you know, don't even need cops, hip hop police. People just telling you everything now. That's like that. So I mean, I wouldn't say that about Ebro. They just got to catch up with the times, man. Or you know, any business could be gone. Any business, nobody's immune from it. We never thought Tours R Us would be closing. So let me ask you a question. So when the whole Tekashi situation came down, and we all know how Ebro felt about Tekashi, and agree with him or not, that's how they felt about each other, right? He has a written statement from the NYPD in regards to the Tekashi situation. What other radio station? Ebro did. You ain't see that? I didn't see that. I missed that one. All right, yeah. So he was on his radio station. He said that he got a written statement from the NYPD, and he read the statement live in regards to the situation, that they tried to warn him, that they tried numerous times to voice with Daniel Hernandez involving a situation. The police. He put himself in. This was the statement that they dropped to Hot 97 Ebro. Have you ever heard that ever happening to any other radio station? Ever a police giving a report in regard to a hip hop artist in particular? Were they giving Hot 97 statements about Biggie and Tupac back when they passed? And do we hear Star and Buck Wild talking about that on the radio station in the morning? Star don't answer that name, man. But anyway, I'm just saying. I never heard of it. You know, I do know that sometimes, you know, media companies will, like, you know, they'll call different, you know, police, you know, and try to get certain information. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, other people have said that they waiting for different discoveries and stuff to come out and all that too. I don't know where to get that stuff, man. I wouldn't feel comfortable calling the police, asking for stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't want them asking me for my name. None of that. Right. Having me on the call ID, none of that shit. Like, I'm cool. That's just not a comfortable situation for me. But you see a lot of outlets getting it. Did you see about that situation? I know I'm kind of going off radar with Tekashi and how the judge said that no more information allowed, no more information. I figured that they were going to shut that down, of course.
And I mean, it's normal. That's normal practice when you got high profile cases like this. But do you think too much information was getting out more than what they wanted already?
I mean, they putting all the stuff on the table, and like people starting to pick it apart. And again, first of all, it's the feds, right? So they wasn't gonna give you everything. I mean, they giving you the obvious stuff that's already out there. But like I said, I'm sure they got when I showed you, when we look at our little documentaries we watch, and not even real stuff that happens in our area. We seen how sophisticated the feds were from breaking down different, organizations that I showed you a video out here. So, I mean, you think that they don't have, wiretaps and different things, text, they got all that type of shit. You know what I mean? So come on, man. So just a blurry ass videotape. They got more than that. So I think that's, like you said, common procedure, in that case. Well, we're gonna keep you updated on that and see how that one goes. Cause that's crazy right there. Definitely.
Yeah, man. It's fastly approaching. What do you think about his homeboy?
Who's that?
Tekashi's homeboy, his spokesman out here. Do you think that he deserves some culpability in this situation yet? And I don't mean by culpability, I don't mean jail time, anything wild like that, but I mean some real justified blame.
We talked about it. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Too heavy, and in what sense? Like, you saying that he committed a crime with him, or just promoting him? You have to expound on that a little bit more.
I'd give him a fuckboy award.
Damn.
I wouldn't necessarily say he committed a crime other than being a fuckboy, but I don't think that's anything different than what he knows. Yeah, and I mean because he obviously exploited. They exploited each other. That was a business decision. That was a business. They made, like I said, a business decision. Like I told you numerous times, 6ix9ine didn't have any radio station, anybody that wanted to touch him early on. What better way to really promote yourself than to go at the hottest internet dude at the time and really start promoting it? So you get involved with that. It's some money involved. And homeboy starts seeing it as a situation where he can make some money. Absolutely. This is why he promotes it. This is why he almost WWE commentates it, to keep the story, to keep the narrative rolling. And it did great over the year. And now he's continuing to keep his money flowing, even though Mr. Hernandez sits in jail in federal custody, maybe doing life behind bars. But that money flow has to keep going. That's why Dummy Boy had to come out to keep his money flowing. This is business.
Well, I mean, it's like this, man. I can't really fault him because, like my man John Hamilton put, we know they're going to use all his videos. They're going to use all his videos because it's just evidence. Any other interviews they did, it's not just going to be his videos, but to say that they was actually doing crime together, he was just promoting his music. You know what I mean? He was promoting the trolling stuff too as well, and he's pretty much just covering any fuck shit that he did. You know what I mean? I can't really say that he's responsible for them getting locked up. I don't want to go out on a limb and say that, but they did have an agreement where they were benefiting off each other. Definitely.
I'm not going to say that he's the sole reason why they're behind bars. No, but I will say that he put the makeup on. He made him look real nice for the police. He made him look real nice. And it just makes me beg the question, okay, first off, we hear it often and we heard it throughout while we were watching it all kind of unfold. You don't really get too close with the industry people when you're in this field because of certain situations kind of like this. You could be cool, but we don't want to be buddy, arm in arm. We don't need to be in your videos and things like that. There's a certain relationship that we stick to. And we've seen that kind of going. And when we seen that and we seen the people in his ear trying to give him game, that kind of got my wheel spinning early. Like, this is more than just him trying to be a part of something. This is a business decision. And he don't want to say that. This is something more business related. We wouldn't do that. If you were out here doing some wild shit, or we had somebody, all right, like we got our homeboy in the game right now, our young brother out there songwriting, doing his thing. If he was wild and in the streets and doing his wild shit, that would not be on this podcast to get him smoke. That wouldn't do it. Now, if he said, listen, man, I got this thing, I got millions of views, I got this, y'all promote me, we stage something, we do some wild stuff, I'll pay you half of my revenue, because we all know 6ix9ine had all of his content monetized. The only people that were really allowed to use it with certain people that were probably under that written agreement to get money. So it's just like this is business, man. And it was something very cynical about that. I would love to hear what 6ix9ine's perspective on Mr. Dude is. You know what I mean? Just right now. Are they still cool? Is that all love, or was this a business decision too?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely. I'm going to give a shout out to A God of Blackness. Definitely said support from North Carolina. Thank you for the dropping the super chat in tonight. And you can leave a super chat if you want a comment read, on the board tonight, or, if you just want to give us support, when you don't have some bread, hit that like button, man. But definitely, man. Say, man, what do you think about this whole Drake and Kanye thing, man? What do you think about months later after the Pusha beef? What are your thoughts on that shit?
First off, God of Blackness, salute to you, man. Appreciate you as well over Viral Hip Hop News. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Oh man. This is the weakest shit I've ever seen in a couple days now. We all know Viral Hip Hop News got some good news a couple days ago. So I'm just getting back on the horse. I'm getting moving, right? So I'm looking at this story and I'm like, man, I don't want to do this one because this is Twitter.
Right.
If this was some real smoke, like go and do this privately. What's going on? But this, it almost seems staged. It seems weird. But then as the night went on and the more the tweets went on, it's like, yo, damn, Kanye West, he's wild. Something done went crazy. Something done snapped off on him. Now we've been vocal in support of Kanye West on a lot of his views and things like that. And we've taken a lot of criticism for that, but we're against the grain. We think on a different realm, different perspective. This right here is wild. Now I don't know what their beef is. I don't know if there's real beef. I don't know what's going on, but this is just a minstrel show at its finest. This shit.
He said that that Drake threatened him, but then
How?
His wife said no. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
What?
It's dumb.
And why is it on Twitter?
Right.
He threatened you, and that's on Twitter. Like, really?
Right.
I thought you was from Chicago. What the fuck are you doing? For real.
Yeah, that kind of is what it is, man. But Mark Lamont Hill, let's talk about that a little bit, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna get your thoughts on that. I know you didn't see the full interview. You know, somebody said Kanye's in a sunken place, Robert Tucker. Maybe. But yeah, Mark Lamont Hill, Breakfast Club dropped the interview today, and that was dope, you know, because they again, he was fired from CNN about a week, maybe and a half ago, for pretty much, you know, talking about Palestine and all of that. And we know about the ongoing battle between the Israelis and the Palestinians over there. And a lot of people, man, in the comment section was going at my man Mark Lamont Hill, calling he was cooning and all this type of different, you know, lingo and how you fighting for these people. And they were saying, you see any Palestinian, you know, fighting for us? I just didn't kind of get that from it. I kind of got that, you know, that he is, because I didn't really know what was going on in Palestine like that. But the way he broke it down, obviously he took a couple trips over there as he explains. And I just couldn't help but think that a lot of the same things that's going on in Palestine is going on right here in America. So I was just like, you know, I think people are kind of missing this message. And salute to the Breakfast Club for even bringing that, you know, conversation to the forefront, because he got fired. And for him to get fired for saying something like that, it just goes to show you, man, that, you know, that there really is no freedom of speech. And if you offend the wrong people, you know, you could be fired from the job if you don't own your own, you know, your own business. So that's just crazy. What's your thoughts on Mark Lamont Hill?
Well, first off, we talked about him, I think, when it happened, and we said that it's probably the best thing that could ever happen to him to get fired from CNN, because you could do for yourself in 2018. There's no reason why you need anybody. Don't run back to that. Don't run back to a boss, etc. And we got a lot of criticism when I dropped that video. I was very surprised, and a lot of people were very critical and just had a lot of negativity and now a lot of negative to say about Mark Lamont Hill for his comments, obviously, on Dr. Farrakhan, Dr. Francis Cress, and other prominent names in the Black community. And it almost got washed away from his overall premise and what he was doing. And it seems like in our community, sometimes we fall victim of, when we have disagreements with someone else in our community, we automatically attribute that to being a coon or sold out or things like that, when I don't always necessarily agree with it to that regard. Now, if there was a paper trail of just nonsense, then okay, maybe you got me there. But disagreements here or there, no, I don't necessarily attribute that to coonism. I put that out there. I don't do that. That being said, this is interesting. I don't know if he deserves the criticism. I don't know if he deserves, because I hear people when they say that he needs to talk more about what's going on out here and things like that. But does he not fight for the people out here as well? What do we not like? Does he not fight for the people out here? Are there people saying that he doesn't? Like,
my man, God of Black, he said he denounced Farrakhan. We know he said that about, you know, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. He said what he said, but still, we can't be throwing each other away because of comments. You know what I mean? We still have to find a way, like even Mark said, you know, to try to work around that and work with each other, regardless if we believe different. Somebody might believe in Allah, somebody might believe in a God. It might be different, you know, beliefs, but we got to find a way, you know, to mend those fences and build up some institutions out here, period. Charlamagne asked him another great question. He said, where's the Anti-Defamation League for Black people? You know what I mean? To protect them. Because right now, everybody's going in on them, you know what I mean? But he needs somebody to say, look, you know, this is what I'm saying in context. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about why you denounced Farrakhan. Let's talk about what you said about Dr. Wells. And let's talk about, you know, Palestine instead of just everybody just going with the wave and say, oh, forget this dude, he's cool, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean?
Automatically just throwing them to that as opposed to questioning him and having real dialect. And that's what I say.
Right.
Why not sit him there and go, okay, well, speak about why you said this or speak about why you said that, because I disagree, blah, 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 blah. Well, don't you think? And let's get to some real pressing issues. This always doesn't have to be whitewashed. This ain't CNN, this ain't Fox. Let's get to some real topics, some real dialect, so that we can get a real genuine gauge on who is and who isn't. Because I think too often we throw each other under the bus just from having different perspectives. Now, I don't agree with a lot of what Mark Lamont said, but I'm not going to sit on here and call him a coon right now because of it. I call a lot of people coon, but I'm not going to call everyone in our community because I necessarily disagree with them a coon. This is not what I'm going to do.
God of Blackness says, man, I'm going to throw you this question. Said, so do we throw away R. Kelly? Serious question. God of Blackness.
Oh, man. So do we throw away R. Kelly?
Silence.
That's a tough one, man, because the things that are up against him are horrendous, and we know that although he hasn't been convicted of any of the crimes, the word on the street and what we all know is it's some
can't go by word on the street, man. People can say a lot of negative stuff about people. I'm not defending them, but I'm just in general. If you're not breaking the receipts and no evidence, you know what I mean? You can't really say that person did that. You just can't. I don't care who it is. Nobody would want anybody, you know, I'm saying some stuff about them that's not true and not bring a receipt, just saying it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So do we throw away R. Kelly?
If he's a child molester, you throw him away.
Definitely.
His music doesn't justify pedophilia. It doesn't. If he molested children and he was a pedophile, then you throw R. Kelly out. And you gotta and there comes a certain point where, okay, you got to defend our brothers, defend this and that, but we got to defend them babies and them children too. That could have easily been black, more than likely were black. Aren't they ours too? So we gotta take a stance somewhere. And though his music was a genius, and we had this discussion a couple of days ago on who's the king of R&B, and I emphatically said R. Kelly. There'd be another king if he gets convicted of pedophilia, because that is unacceptable. 100% period.
God of Blackness says R. Kelly got a whole video tape. I haven't seen the video.
I seen bits and pieces back in the day.
Right.
We were teenagers when that video came out.
That was a long time ago. Yeah. So that's crazy. Yeah.
I mean,
what do you think about that though?
What's that?
The videotape. He said R. Kelly got a videotape.
Well, that's when I say word on the street. That's what I mean. He didn't get convicted of that. Word on the street. We seen the video.
So word on the street. I mean, so I said, man, you backpedaling.
Okay,
so you say word on the street is different than seeing something.
No, it isn't.
No,
he hasn't been convicted of it though. Why? Well, okay, so
the video. Do you think it's him?
The hell yeah, it was him.
Wasn't a body double or clone or nothing like that?
No, good fucking clone. No clone.
I mean, okay. Oh, Robert Tuck said he's seen it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but he didn't get convicted of it. So
no, okay. and that's the argument. Now we all know court has done some wrong shit thousands of times. I'm not saying that,
right?
But that was brought up in court. He wasn't convicted, even though, like I said, word on the street and what we saw is he was doing that to that girl, tossing salad.
I didn't see the video, so I didn't see the video. I'm not laughing at it. I didn't see the video. I just kind of heard about it back then. You know what I'm saying? But you know, somebody put he got big after being acquitted. That it kind of is what it is. It's crazy if there's a video how he didn't get, you know, convicted of it. But
we all thought back then he was done. Like when that video came out, R. Kelly was done, dead to rights. They started bringing back Aaliyah back up, God rest her soul. All this shit started getting brought back up, and everyone thought he was done. When he got acquitted, it was like, whoa. And then we forgot about it. And then things get brought up. Now, what do you think about them doing a documentary on it? The women doing a documentary on R. Kelly and his brother coming out on that and things like that. Where's that documentary? People in the comment section, where's that being aired at? I don't know, but it's being aired soon.
Right.
The R. Kelly documentary.
I like it, man. I always love, you know, if that's their truth, I say put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Put it out there, put it in the art form and let people decide, you know, for themselves. You know, like you said, word on the street. So many people, I think his ex-wife, his brother, so many people have came out on him. I just can't really see it being a conspiracy, you know, against him like that. But it's just so hard. It's so hard for me to go totally in on him You know what I mean? Like that without, not being no evidence for them to get a conviction on the guy.
Right.
I mean, like they could get anybody else. They get Cosby from 40, 50, 30, years ago. But how come they can't get this guy? So it just
Glad
makes
you brought
me,
up.
you know what I mean?
You brought up that because God of Blackness in the comment section, man, he's killing it tonight. I would speak up for Cosby over Kelly. And I think that's the same sentiment of the Uncensored Truth. We definitely would do that as well. We talked about Cosby in nauseum throughout that whole entire case. And it was something very wrong with that situation. Now, like we said, we never justify rape. We never justify any of that. But years, decades, not even years later, it was a thing back then where everybody took drugs. How can you sit there and convict this man of doing that now? And it's real cynical. And it seemed like there was something just extra to that situation. That's a lot more arguable than R. Kelly. R. Kelly is shit. It is what it is. Like, okay, we may not know everything. We may not know if that girl is under what's them things, a cult or things like that, like they were talking about early or late in 2017, the whole sex cult scandal and things like that. We don't know if any of that's going on, but those acts on that tape, we know that went on. And now we see numerous accounts of hearing the same thing. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
So then we throw R. Kelly away.
If he's a pedophile, we have to throw him away.
Yes, sir.
We have to.
No doubt. I trust the charters and the coaches. Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate everybody leaving that comment in there. Go ahead and leave your area code as well as we wind down tonight on the Uncensored Truth podcast in the building with your brother God from Hip Hop News Uncensored and Sam Ann across the way from Viral Hip Hop News in the building.
Indeed.
Tonight. Hit that like button for me, family, and go ahead and share this video. Yeah, man, I think that's pretty much all that's on the lineup for tonight, man. We could take a quick look to see if anything else, popped off, but that's pretty much it, man.
Indeed, man. We don't really got much on the ticker right now. I want y'all to leave y'all area codes right now so we can shout y'all out in the comment section. If you got anything else y'all want to talk about, let's definitely do that. Go back and watch Bill Cosby's interview on Larry King. When Bill Cosby breaks down his use of Spanish fly, you hear Larry King finishing his sentences.
I'll check that out.
Because he probably knows that game. I mean, it was the game back then. 323 was good. 1%, what up? 609 Jersey in the building. What's up? 330. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love, Mr. Blocky 22. Indeed. 252-919-74. What up? Let me get some music going. This mother check real quick. I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
623-626.
Yeah.
Appreciate each and every one of y'all support, man. If y'all not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe to the Uncensored Truth podcast, exclusively on Hip Hop News Uncensored every Friday evenings live around 8 or so. We started early around 7:40 this evening. We usually get it popping around 8 o'clock. Right here, exclusively on Hip Hop News Uncensored. You can also subscribe to our channel, Uncensored Truth, official YouTube platform. Go subscribe over there right now where you'll get content that you won't get at Hip Hop News Uncensored or Viral Hip Hop News. And if you haven't subscribed to Viral Hip Hop News, make sure you go subscribe over there as well. We killing the game, man. We got the corporate structure intact.
Yes, sir. I see you. 215-937-302. That's Delaware in the building. You know what I mean? 954. Okay, I see you. 44504-770 in the 404 ATL. Once again, I think in the building. Yeah, man. Another beautiful podcast. You already know during the week we're gonna be dropping stories both from Viral Hip Hop News and Hip Hop News Uncensored all week long. Make sure you subscribe to both of those channels to get all your latest hip hop news. If you like reading articles, if you don't like the videos, go to hiphopun.com, hiphopun.com for all your latest hip hop news. Those links are right down below us in the description box as well. Let's go.
Oh God, real quick, I seen somebody drop in the comment section. I don't want to leave them out. Hennessy and Hip Hop. Appreciate you. 954. What's up? Give your thoughts on Satoya Brown, the young lady that's doing 51 years behind bars for killing her predator. What do you think about that?
I think that she needs to be granted clemency like now, period. If you look at the circumstances of that case, there's no way that she should be doing 51 years. No way. It's cruel and unusual punishment. And the last, I think it's in Tennessee, they're going to the governor, I think it is they're going to be considering granting her clemency. So hopefully, that definitely happened and she's able to get out. I think that's crazy.
She needs to be out ASAP. She's a hero. She's an inspiration to women out there that are going through what they're going through. You stand up to your oppressor. You stand up to somebody that's trying to do that to you. You don't stand down to that. she should not be sitting behind bars right now. It's disgusting what's going on when you see senators, when you see politicians, and you see other people out here, the Harvey Weinsteins of the world and these other Hollywood dirty motherfuckers that have yet to even been charged of any kind of crimes, but they've been proven without a shadow of a doubt while we sit here and talk about R. Kelly and Bill Cosby of all these egregious acts, but nothing's been done to them. And you have a woman that stood up to it, killed her oppressor, and now she has to do 51 years for it. It's terrible. She needs to get clemency, like you said, right now, God damn it. And if she doesn't, we need to be going crazy over it.
51 is definitely too long. 51 now, a life was taken. You know what I mean? But 51 years is way, way too long. So hopefully, you know, we'll have some news to report on that situation real soon. Anything else in there, Sam, man?
No, I don't think anybody else has. But my man Jeremy Malcolm, real quick. Okay, so you have a young lady who was abducted, who was sexually assaulted over years and years and years. She killed that man who did these egregious things to her, and she sat behind bars. The judge, I believe in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, gave her a 51-year prison sentence for it. It's ridiculous, and that's just a real brief synopsis of what's going on. So, yeah, we're just going to talk about her real quick. Centoya Brown, justice for her, absolutely.
Yes, sir. No, this is not the Joe Rogan podcast. That's pretty dope, though. Some of his topics is pretty nice over there on Joe Rogan podcast, man. It's the Uncensored Truth podcast, the most feared, the most underrated podcast out there right now. Check us out also on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, anywhere that you can listen. It's dope to listen when you're in your car. You want to get updated on the hip hop news, the latest news. You want to put on the Uncensored Truth podcast and just drive around with it, man, and just get updated. Nobody listen to these dinosaurs out here no more on radio. Come on, man.
That's right. Old ass Ebro and Hot 97 over there, man.
Ebro gonna get you, man.
Let him come, man. Come get me, dude. I'm putting this on my IG. I seen somebody said they follow us on IG, and salute to you. I think it was our brother God of Blackness, if I'm not mistaken. So all y'all make sure y'all go hop on our IGs. Viral_hip hop news. That is viral_hip hop news. That is my IG handle. You can go follow me on IG. Come holler at me. Come interact with me. I don't got many people over there, so I definitely see you a lot better than I do on Viral Hip Hop News. Come build with your brother. Viral_hip hop news right now. Oh God, what's your handle, brother?
Mine is at Hip Hop Uncensored, all the way across, at Hip Hop Uncensored on Facebook and Instagram. All you gotta do is go right down below me in the description box. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and all that. Every video we have the links in each channel. So definitely, check us out, man. Also, the Uncensored Truth podcast channel. Go over there. We about to get that popping real soon. I'm telling y'all, I'm telling you.
Tell them.
Yeah. That's gonna be, that's gonna be like something you've never seen before. So I can't wait till that over there gets rolling. So yeah, man, Wake and Bake podcast. We're relaunching the Wake and Bake podcast. Next week we got the Hip Hop Uncensored mentorship program that's about to be retooled and relaunched in January. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of great things going. As much as some other things that we're not going to put out there right now. Not to give them too much. So we just going to continue to work behind the scenes, man, and do what the hell we do. Shout out to all the people out there that watch us. I do appreciate y'all. If y'all don't see my face a lot, I do appreciate all the likes, the comments, and all that. That's pretty much all I got, man.
Indeed. God of Blackness. He's a truck driver, man. We appreciate you. You stay safe on them roads, brother. Definitely salute to you. Make sure you check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, whatever you got, whatever kind of phone you got, fam. Make sure you check us out. All the loyal people listening right now, make sure you check us out on those platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, where you're going to get the Uncensored Truth, raw, real, and uncut. Things we cannot give you on YouTube, you will definitely hear and find on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. Salute to everyone out there. Like old guy said, we building the corporate infrastructure behind the scenes, and damn, it's beautiful. We can't give all y'all the information right now, but you'll see it as we come about. We don't like really talking. We just like showing anyway. Results speak way louder than words. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking with us right now on this channel, on the platform, on the podcast this evening.
Yes, sir.
We will see you again Monday. That's all I got, man. Let's roll.
Yes, sir. God of Blacks, I just modded you up. I'm going to let you know that. You're modded now, bro. So people come in here, man, every week. You know what I mean? We see you. We will make you a moderator on the channel, man. And be sending, real soon, we're going to start giving some giveaways. We got the Viral Hip Hop News hats as well. Hip Hop Uncensored hats. Just wait, you'll see they'll be available. You know what I mean? Actually, they're available now. Yours are. You can get them right now.
Yeah, you can get them on eBay, but I'm going to make a better and easier way for you to get those. And I'm also I got different colorways and different things. Like I said, we had some grinding to do, man, but now we're back on our feet and getting going. So watch out for them Viral Hip Hop News hats exclusively on different colorways, different logos. It's about to get popping in here. You heard?
Yes, it's Pete. I see you, Shantae Johnson. I see you in there. All right, man. We out of here.
Peace.